Welcome back to Cowboys Insiders, the ultimate home for every true fans of the Dallas Cowboys. Whether you have been riding with America's team for years or you are just starting your journey, this is the place where the passion, pride, and football come together. Here at Cowboys Insiders, we don't just follow the game, we live it. From thrilling victories to tough battles, we stand united behind the star, celebrating every moment that makes the Cowboys one of the most iconic teams in the sport history. So, get ready to dive deep into exclusive insight, breaking news, players update, and expert analysis on the Dallas Cowboys. So this is your front row seat to everything happening on and off the field. We bring you closer to the action, closer to the players, and closer to the heart of the game. So wherever you are watching from, we warmly welcome you to the Cowboys family. Your voice matters here, your passion belongs here, and your loyalty make this community stronger. The off-season in the NFL is not a quiet period. It is a high-stakes cheers match where championships are quietly built along before the first kickoff of the regular season. Behind closed door, general manager, scouts, and coaching staff spend countless hours evaluating talent, negotiating contracts, and constructing a roster capable of competing at the highest level. For a franchise like a Dallas Cowboys, the pressure is even greater as expectations are not just about making the playoffs but about returning to the Super Bowl contention and restoring a dominance. The journey begins with a free agents, a period that transforms the league into a marketplace of elite talent. Teams enter these fairs with a clear understanding of their roster deficiencies, whether it is the needs for wide receiver who can strengthen the field, an edge rusher who can consistently generate a pressure, or an offensive tackle who can anchor a blind side. Every move is dictated to generate pressure or offensive tackle who can anchor beyond the same. So every move is dictated by a salary caps, forcing organization to balance ambition with a financial discipline. The Cowboys, like other contender, must carefully evaluate cap hit, granted money, and long-term implications before committing to any major signings. At the quarterback position, the most important role in a football, veteran options continue to dominate a conversations. Players like Kirk Cousins bring a consistency, accuracy, and the ability to operate within a structured offensive systems. Meanwhile, a Russell Wilson offers leadership and deep ball efficiency trait that can instantly elevate an offense. On the other hand, a younger quarterback such as Justin Fields introduce a different dimensions with their mobility, allowing offenses to incorporate run pass option and extend plays beyond the designed structure. Even for teams with established starters, securing a depth at quarterbacks remains a priority as injuries at the position can derail an entire season. The running back market reflects the evolving philosophy of modern football. While some franchises hesitate to invest heavily in the position due to its physical demand and shorter career spans, elite players like Saquon Barkley continue to demonstrate their value as complete offensive weapons. His ability to contribute as both runner and receiver makes him a true three-down back capable of impacting every phase of the game. So similarly, Derrick Henry remains one of the most physically dominant players in the league, capable of wearing down defenses and controlling a tempo of the game. In an era dominated by passing offenses, these players remind teams of the importance of balance and physicality. At wide receiver, the demand for elite talent has reached an level offenses across the league, really heavy on dynamic playmakers who can create separation, win contested encroaches, and generate yards after the catch. Players like T. Higgins provide a size and reliability, making them ideal target in a critical situation. So a Mike Evans continues to excel as a red zone threat using his physicality and catch radius to dominate defensive backs. Meanwhile, Calvin Ridley brings a precious route running and explosiveness qualities that are essential in creating mismatches against opposing defenses. For teams like the Cowboys, adding or maintaining a strong receiving corps is essential to maximizing offensive efficiency and supporting their quarterback. Defensively, a free agency focuses on players who can disrupt opposing offenses and create a game-changing moment. Interior defensive linemen like Chris Jones are among the most valuable assets in the league, as their ability to collapse the pocket from the inside forces quarterback into uncomfortable situations. Edge rushers such as Daniel Hunter provide consistent pressure of the edge, critically component of any successful defense. Linebacker like Patrick Quinn offer versatility, excelling in both run defense and pass coverage. So in the trenches, offensive linemen such as Tyron Smith remain invaluable, protecting the quarterback and establishing the foundation for successful offense. While our free agencies provide immediate solution, the NFL draft represents the future. It is a process defined by evaluating projections and calculated risk. Teams spend monthly analyzing prospect, studying game film, conducting interviews, and evaluating physical attributes during the scouting combine and pro days. The goal is to identify players who not only possesses innate talent but also fit the team's culture and system. At the quarterback, prospect like Caleb Williams are viewed as a franchise-changing talent. His combination of the arm strength, creativity, and poise under pressure make him one of the most highly anticipated prospects in recent years. Alongside him, Drake May offer prototypical size and accuracy, while Jadon Daniel brings a dynamic athleticism and playmaking ability. So each of these quarterbacks represent different stories of the players, giving a team's option depending on their offensive philosophy. The wide receiver class is equally impressive, headlined by Marvin Harrison Jr., whose skill set has drawn comparison to some of the greatest receivers in the NFL history. His route running, hands, and football intelligence make him an immediate impact player. He is complemented by talent like Malik Nurbur's and Rome Adams. Both of whom bring explosive and the ability to change the outcomes of the game with a single play. So in the trenches, offensive linemen such as Joe Hart and Olu Fanchanu represent the next generation of Anerit protectors. Their techniques, strength, and athleticism make them ideal candidates to become a cornerstone players on the offensive line. On the defensive side, players like Jared Verse and Dallas Turner bring explosiveness and versatility, while a cornerback such as Akur Eddie Maxey have a potential to develop into a shutdown defenders capable of neutralizing an elite receiver. So for the Dallas Cowboys, the challenge lies is combining these two pathways, free agencies and NFL draft, into a cohesive strategy. A free agencies allow them to address immediate needs with a proven veterans, while the draft provides an opportunity to build for a future with a young cost-controlled talent. Striking the right balance between these approaches is essential for maintaining competitiveness while preserving long-term flexibility. As the off-season progresses, every decision becomes part of the larger narrative, and a single free agent signing which can shift the balance of the power within a division. While a successful draft class can set a foundation for 4 years' success, fans eagerly follow every rumors, every mock draft, and every contract announcement, understanding that these moves will ultimately shape the upcoming season. In this ever-evolving landscape, the difference between success and failure often comes down to execution. So teams that excel in talent evaluation, roster management, and strategic planning are the ones that rise at the top. For a franchise like Dallas Cowboys, the goal is clear, is to build a roster capable of competing for championship and ultimately bringing home of Lombardi Trophy. And the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, are they building a championship defense? Are they making the right decision in the Dallas? And the most important, are the Cowboys finally ready to compete again at the highest level? So sit back, relax, and stay locked in, because this is Cowboy Insiders, and today we are diving deep into the Dallas Cowboy 2026 NFL Draft Journal. The 2026 NFL Draft has officially kicked night, and from the very first moments, it became clear that this year's events would be defining turning points for the several franchises. Among the teams drawing the most attention early on were the Dallas Cowboys franchise under intense pressure to bounce back after disappointing 2025 season. With expectations high and fans demanding change, Dallas entered the draft with a clear sense of urgency and strategy that quickly began to unfold in dramatic fashion. Coming off 7-9-1 record, the Cowboys knew that standing still was not an option. The front office, led by the owner Jerry Jones, had already hinted in the off-season that significant roster adjustments were coming. But no one could have predicted just how aggressive and focused the approach would be once the draft began. Rather than playing it safe, the Dallas made broad moves that signaled a complete commitment to reshaping the identity of the team. Particularly on the defensive side of the ball, the first major moments for the Cowboys come early in the first round. Not content not content with the original draft position, the Dallas executed a strategic trade to move up the board, targeting one of the most highly regarded defensive prospects in entire class, Caleb Downs. Widely considered, Caleb Downs as the one of the smartest and most versatile safeties available. Caleb Downs brings innate football intelligence, exceptional awareness, and ability to impact games immediately. His presence in the secondary is expected to address one of the Dallas' biggest weaknesses from last season, where a blown coverage and inconsistent safety play often cost them crucial games. So there is many things that makes Down such as a valuable addition is not just his physical talent, but his leadership and composure. So analysts have consistently described him as a day one difference maker, a player capable of organizing the defense and elevating those around him. For the Cowboys defense that struggled with consistency, his arrival could mark the beginning of a new era to build a discipline and execution. However, the Dallas was far from finished later in the first round. The Cowboys once again made headlines by maneuvering their ways into another favorable position to select Malachis Lawrence. These picks further emphasized their defensive overhaul, as Lawrence is widely known for his explosiveness off the edge and his ability to disrupt opposing quarterback. During his college career, he built reputations as a relentless pass rusher, combining speed, power, and techniques to consistently pressure offenses. The addition of Lawrence addresses another critical issues from previous season. While Dallas has flashes of strong defensive line play, they lacked the consistent pass rusher needed to compete with the league's top offenses. By bringing in Playline Lawrence and Cowboys are clearly aiming to increase their ability to control games at the line of scrimmage, forcing a quarterback into mistakes and creating more turnover opportunities. As the draft continued into a later rounds, Dallas maintained its focus on building a depth and long-term potential. In the third round, they selected a Jason Balham, a versatile defender capable of playing a multiple role. Balham is considered as a high upside prospect known for his athleticism and flexibility. While he may not be as polished as the first round picks, and his ability to adapt and develop within the system make him an intriguing addition to the roster. This selection highlights an important aspect of the Cowboys draft philosophy this year. While they are clearly targeting immediate impact players, they are also investing in the future. Birmingham represents the kind of player who, with the right coaching and development, could become a key contributor in the years to come. So it is a balanced approach that suggests Dallas is not just thinking about the upcoming season, but about building a sustained success. So another significant element of the Cowboys' draft strategy has been their willingness to make a bold trades in addition to moving up in the draft order. The team has also been active in reshaping its roster through a players transaction. So these moves indicate front office that is full committed to transformation, even if it means making a difficult decision in the short term. The message is clear, and the mediocrity in no longer acceptable in the Dallas. From a broader perspective, the early stages of the NFL draft have revealed. So this shift is particularly interesting given the team's historical emphasis on offensive firepower. It suggests a philosophical change, one that recognizes the importance of the balance and the ability to win a game through a defense. For the fans, this draft brings a renewed sense of the hope and excitement. The combination of innate talent, strategic planning, and aggressive decisions making has created the impression that the Cowboys are finally taking the necessary steps to return to championship contention. Of course, as with any draft, the true impact of these selections will only be known over time. Prospects must develop, adapt to the professional levels, and prove themselves on the field. Still, the early signs are promising by targeting a high-impact defensive players and demonstrating willingness to take calculated risks. Dallas has positioned itself as one of the most integrating teams to watch moving forward. So if there's a most translate into improved performance, the 2026 NFL draft could be remembered as the moment when the Cowboys began their resurgence. As the draft continue over the coming days, all eyes will remain on the Dallas to see how they build on this strong start. Will they continue to prioritize defense, or will they shift their focus on offensive weapon, or will more trades flow this question add to breakdown? We will be diving into a key moment, spotlighting rising stars and discussing the discussions that could shape the future of the franchise. And right now, all eyes are on the biggest event of the off-season, the NFL draft. This is where a team are built, where the future are decided, and where the next generation of stars begins their journey. For the Cowboys, this draft could be turning points. The light picks could elevate these teams into a true championship contender, and the long ones could leave fans asking what if all over the games. This is your place for a little conversation, a little opinions, and a little passions for a game. So stay tuned, stay engaged, and most important, stay ready, because the journey is just getting started, and you don't want to miss a single moment. So the off-season is always defining a period for every teams in the National Football League, but for the Dallas Cowboys, these moments feels even more critical. As the 2026 NFL Draft started, the franchise found itself standing at crossroads between continuing as a competitive team and finally transforming into a true championship contender. Over the past few seasons, the Cowboys have shown a flashes of brilliance, but they have also struggled with inconsistency, especially in the biggest moments. So that is why this draft is not just another year event for the Dallas. It is an opportunity to reshape the identity of the team and build a stronger foundation for the futures. As the heart of the Cowboys' current situation is their quarterback Dak Prescott. Prescott remains one of the most important figures in the franchise, a leader with experience and the ability to guide the offense when everything is functioning properly. However, even the best quarterback in the league cannot succeed without a light support around them. In a recent season, Prescott has faced a pressure due to offensive line that has not been dominant as it once was. Injury urging players and inconsistencies have weakened what used to be one of the strongest units in football. This has had direct impact not only on Prescott's performance but also on entire of offensive system. The running game is another area where the Dallas Cowboys have experienced a noticeable decline during a prime years of Ezekiel Elliott, and the team had powerful and reliable rushing attacks that could control the tempo of the game. Today, what some level of dominance is missing. While they have been moments of promise, there is no clear long-term solution at the running back position. In the modern NFL, where offensive balance is a key, having a dynamic running back who can both run effectively and contribute in the passing game is essential. This makes the draft perfect opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys to address these needs and inject a new energy into the offense. When it comes to a passing game, the Cowboys are fortunate to have a true star like CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb has established himself as one of the top wide receivers in the league, capable of making a big plays and carrying significant portions of the offensive load. However, relying too heavily on a single receiver can make an offense predictable. Defenses can adjust their strategies to limit Lamb's impact, forcing other players to step up. This is why adding another wide receiver through a draft could be a crucial move. A fast and explosive players who can stretch the field would not only complement a Lamb but also create more opportunities for the entire offense. On the defensive side of the ball, the Cowboys have one of the most exciting players in the NFL in the Micah Parsons. Parsons has the ability to change the outcomes of the game with his speed, strength, and versatility, and he is kind of player every team dreams to build around. However, football is a team sport, and even a player of the Parsons caliber cannot do everything alone. The Cowboys' defense, while strong in certain areas, still lacks a depth and consistency in others, and strengthening the defensive line and adding a talent to a secondary could significantly improve the overall performance of the unit. As the NFL draft draws across, the strategy of the Dallas Cowboys become a topic of intense discussions. One passing approach is to focus heavily on the offensive line, selecting a player who can immediately step in and provide protection for a Dak Prescott. Another approach would be to prioritize skills positions, such as running back or wide receiver, in order to create a more explosive offense. There is also the option of selecting the best player available regardless of position, strategy that can sometimes lead to unexpected but valuable addition to a team. The Cowboys could also consider trading down in the draft, a move that would allow them to acquire additional picks and build a depth across a multiple position. This approach requires careful planning and clear understanding of the team's long-term goals. While it may not provide an immediate impact from a single star player, it can create more balanced and complete roster over time. Ultimately, the success of this draft will depend on decisions made by the Cowboys front office and coaching staff. So every pick carries a certain level of the risk, but it also represents an opportunity. The difference between good teams and the great ones after comes down to how well franchise can identify and develop talent through the draft. For the Cowboys, this is a chance to address their weaknesses, reinforce their strength, and take significant steps forward. Looking ahead, the impact of the 2026 NFL Draft could shape the future of the Dallas Cowboys for years to come. A successful draft could elevate the team to a new level, turning them into a serious contender capable of making a deep playoff runs. On the other hand, missed opportunity could result in continued frustration and unfulfilled potential. This is what makes the draft such a pivotal moment in the NFL calendar. As fans wait to see how everything unfolds, one thing is certain: the Cowboys have a pieces to complete, but they need